Hi, it's Titi here from My Sacred Blood, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about placentophagy and drinking of menstrual blood. Placentophagy, as you may know, is the eating of the placenta, and this has been made trendy by Hollywood stars such as January Jones and Kourtney Kardashian, and also Jennifer Aniston, who I don't believe even has a baby, so I'm not sure whose placenta she's eating, but a lot of women are eating their placenta. But then there's also a small group of women who are also drinking of their menstrual blood. You can Google that or do a quick YouTube search and you'll find a lot of women giving testimony about their experiences with drinking menstrual blood. In this video though, I want to point out some of the dangers in doing that. And this is not to scare anyone, I'm not necessarily against the practice, it's just that we need to be aware of some things before we go ahead and jump on that bandwagon, because for some of us it might be dangerous. And I'm just going to point out a few of the reasons why. There are 5 main problems that I've found with this practice. The first problem is the food we eat. A lot of the food that we eat contains toxins, pesticides, genetically engineered ingredients that we're not quite sure of or hasn't been very largely tested or tested over a long period of time, enough for us to know the safety of these foods. So if you're eating a diet that consists of a lot of junk food, fast foods, highly processed foods, then your menstrual blood is not going to be healthy. And so it's not a good idea to drink of your menstrual blood at that time, nor is it a good idea to eat of the placenta. These foods are not good for baby anyway. Ideally, we should try to adjust our diets for growing baby. So foods that are high in salt, high in sugar, high in sulfites, and so on are not good for baby. And so it's not going to be good for us to eat that placenta. To fix the problem now, you try to change your diet or change your eating style, and that would include adding some organic and non-GMO food into your diet and kind of wean yourself off the processed foods. And once you've done so for about a year of eating healthy, then maybe you can start drinking your menstrual blood if you fix the other 4 problems that I'm going to get to in just a minute here. Problem number 2 is drugs. Drugs are bad, and drugs are toxins. So if you're using any type of drug at all, including antibiotics, antidepressants, antiviral medication, even birth control, hormonal birth control particularly, or synthetic hormones, and any over-the-counter pharmaceutical drug at all. If you are taking any of these, then your blood, of course, is going to be toxic. And because we're not sure of how exactly the body metabolizes all these drugs, we're not sure of what form of chemical will be contained in the menstrual blood. So, of course, if you're taking any kind of drug at all, whether it's an illegal substance or whether it is a legal substance, it is not going to be a good idea to drink of your menstrual blood or to eat of the placenta. The fix for this problem is, of course, to wean yourself off the drugs. And again, you give yourself about a year to wean yourself off the drugs and rid your body of all the toxins. Once you've found a more natural way of relieving pain and a more natural way of dealing with your reproductive health, then perhaps maybe then you can consider drinking menstrual blood or eating the placenta if you fix the other 3 problems that I'm about to get to in just a minute. Problem number 3 is the feminine hygiene products that we use. This problem is twofold. For one, when you use conventional feminine care products, especially conventional tampons, you run the risk of leaving certain synthetic fibers inside the vaginal canal once you remove the tampon. Also, we do know that these feminine hygiene products do contain toxins, and those toxins may seep into the skin because we're unaware of the risks and because there isn't enough research done on the safety of these products, and whatever research is done on the safety of these products are usually done by the companies who produce these products. So of course the research is not going to be very accurate. So if you are using conventional feminine care products, it's not going to be a good idea to consume your menstrual blood. The second part of this problem is the fact that most women who use conventional feminine care products also use conventional over-the-counter medication to relieve pain, and also use hormonal birth control. But the problems that arise here will be similar to the problems with taking drugs. There is a fix for this problem, and the fix for this problem is to move from conventional feminine care products to toxin-free, preferably reusable menstrual care products. But if you're not quite ready to make that switch yet, then switch to organic or 100% pure cotton feminine hygiene products for your tampons and your pads. Problem number 4 is toxic relationships. Toxic relationships will include professional relationships as well as intimate relationships. So if you have a lot of stress in your life, you're experiencing stress on the job and stress at home, you're experiencing a lot of depression or anxiety, a lot of stress overall, then that is going to affect the health of your blood or the harmony of your blood. And I know that might seem strange, but stress is a very well-known toxin. And if you do have a lot of stress in your life, then it means that you do have a lot of toxins, toxic energy in your blood. And people who are stressed or depressed or who experience anxiety or prolonged periods of anxiety usually do use conventional antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications, or perhaps antipsychotic medications. And if you are dealing with these types of problems, then you're going to want to deal with the drug problem before you consider drinking of your menstrual blood or eating the placenta. Problem number 5, and I'll focus on placentophagy first. Just a reminder that the placenta is a system that is used to carry blood, oxygen, nutrients, etc. to the fetus. So the fetus isn't actually eating the placenta itself. The placenta may still contain these nutrients once it's expelled from the body, but then the process of having to grind this placenta into a powdered form and then encapsulate it, a lot of the nutrients are going to be lost in that process. Also, we would like to make the comparison between ourselves and other animals who may eat their placenta. And although it is well known that a lot of animals do eat their placenta after giving birth, they do eat their placenta raw and untreated, unprocessed, uncooked. So humans eating their placenta and animals eating their placenta are two completely different things. Animals are eating their placenta naturally, and animals do not take drugs. Most animals don't eat GMO or toxic processed foods or high fructose corn syrup. So generally, other mammals have healthier placentas than do human beings. And there hasn't been enough research done on how much nutrients is absorbed from a placenta that might have been cooked or processed. There is not a lot of research done in this area at all. It's just been very much a trend that a lot of people see Hollywood doing, so a lot of us want to pick it up and jump on that bandwagon, and we don't really consider the consequences. The consequences might not be that grave, but it's something to consider, especially if you're a nursing mom. It's not a good idea to eat your placenta or to drink of your menstrual blood while you are nursing, because of course you can pass on anything that you ingest, you will be passing it on to baby. So is there a safe way to practice placentophagy? If you practice healthy eating, if you are drug-free and you're free of any toxins, synthetic drugs, and synthetic hormones, and if your life is free of toxic people and toxic environments, then I would say the best way to practice placentophagy is to simply drink the blood of the placenta while it is still fresh, because we can't exactly chew up the placenta. I haven't tried it myself, but if you can eat the placenta raw or swallow pieces of it just like the animals do, then by all means. But if you can't, then the only way really to do that is to drink the blood of the placenta. The best way to ingest menstrual blood or to use menstrual blood, if you'd like to consume it, would be to mix it with water, collect the blood in a menstrual cup, mix it in with water, and then use it on your garden to water your plants. For your placenta, you can have that ground up into compost, and you'll also use that in your garden, and then the nutrients from the placenta or the nutrients from the blood will leach into your plant or into your vegetables or fruits or whatever it is that you're growing, and then you consume the fruit or the vegetable, the plant, or drink tea from whatever herbs you might be growing, and that would be the best way to drink menstrual blood. I would not recommend for any woman in this modern time to drink of her menstrual blood because there are way too many toxins in our environment. It seems all well and good in theory. Yes, our placenta is very nutrient rich, very oxygen rich, and very healthy for fetus, but generally overall we live in a very toxic environment that's filled with pesticides and pollutants and just a lot of processed everything, so it's not going to be a good idea to practice this, and I would advise against it. But whatever choice you choose to make, good luck with that. And if you have tried your own menstrual blood, is it something that you find effective? Do you feel different? Do you feel the benefits? Please feel free to share here. That's it for this one, and I will see you in the next one.